This is our second time to Holy Family Hospital in Techiman. We have had an overwhelming response. We probably have screened double, maybe even triple the amount of patients that we did in 2016.
This population of our country is what we will describe as the rural, disadvantaged, marginalized, and sometimes neglected population segment of our country.
The reason that we all travel far and take time away from our families and our work is to provide care for children that would not otherwise receive it.
The people trust us. They saw the work, they saw how well their children did, and we were just overwhelmed the first day. We saw about 240 kids. Almost all of them needed surgery. Fell out of a tree. Was it a mango tree?
Mango tree, mango tree.
Yep, always a mango tree. They call it mango season when they come in and you have broken femurs and arms. It's mango season.
The number of burns here were just like I haven't really seen anywhere else.
Oh my goodness, look at you, buddy.
A little boy had a terrible burn across his chest, but it happened to involve both underarms. When you have that, you can't lift your arms up, you can't put clothes on. A lot of these kids who have some kind of visible type of deformity, even if it's not functional, won't be going to school. They won't, go out and get a job. They won't do anything that normal kids will do.
My God, you are so beautiful.
One of our big pushes is to try to make sure that as many kids go to school as possible. And so if they're not going to school for that and you can fix that with an operation, then it's as life-changing as anything else would be.
How are you? Good? Very good. Thank you for coming.
One of the best and most exciting things about this mission is we were able to contact patients from 2016 and see how the surgeries have impacted their life.
Valkisa was our patient from 2 years ago who we treated a burn scar contracture for.
If we weren't here in time, her leg would have become contracted. This is the result 2 years later. Nice straight leg. She'll have a scar, but she has full mobility, and she is running around like a 7-year-old girl now. Nice, big, and tall, and beautiful. That's you! Remember?
She is now going to school and she's now doing all the activities that a kid should do, and so a perfect example of how none of that would have been happening had the contracture stayed or the scar stayed.
She was so happy to see us, and that's what really inspires us to come here and to do more surgeries and to help more children have the bright future and the abilities to grow and learn and reach their potential.
I'm very pleased with the way that it came out. The back of his knee is very stable. You're going to grow and be big and play lots of sports, okay?
What's so touching and meaningful to us is that the parents are so thankful that their children are able to function as normal children will without disabilities.
He's big. Last time we saw him, he was little.
If he's at home, he's a baby. The whole thing come. The whole say any kind of at time on now when you be able to meet in a piano and tempo. I'm going to say, tell an iron on your coffee. Young Ferry be say, the baby piano.
We saw a lot of the same thing, which is neglected club feet and neglected Blount's disease, which is a severe bowing of the legs. We also saw so many neglected feet that were literally upside down, the children walking on their feet into their teen and young adult years.
What he needs is his Achilles tendon lengthened, and then we need to decrease the height of the arch so his foot can be flat on the ground. This is all secondary to a neurological condition that he has, a form of cerebral palsy.
We picked out the most pressing, needy children who needed the largest procedures, more complex procedures, and we did those.
Even if they could have been done anywhere in the cities in our country, would be so expensive that they will not be able to afford them, and therefore they will be condemned to their fate of living with this condition for the rest of their lives. Operation Kids, in a lot of ways, is a God-sent angel in the lives of these children.
We're going to play a game to cheer him up. He has to be cheered up to prevent him from the pain and from the fear.
So the point of Connect 4 is getting all the same colors in a row.
They play with these kids, they give them coloring books, they give them playing materials just to divert their attention from the pain and probably their thoughts of going in for operations.
Florence came to the clinic with this giant swollen lip, something called a hemangioma, which is just sort of a blood vessel tumor in the lips. Somebody had taken her to surgery, and in the middle of the surgery they had come out to the family and said that they needed more money in order to continue the operation, and the parents didn't have it. So they sewed her back up and they let her go home.
When my mother gave birth to me, they cried, they don't know what is wrong with it. So the man said, he have heard some certain thing about white men coming to Tachima Hospital, Holy Family, to do it for me.
The tumor is actually made of blood vessels, and it's fed by an artery that comes directly from the heart, and it gets very, very large. I went in and found the artery and tied it off, and as soon as you tie it off, usually the problem with the bleeding should stop. So that was a really interesting, good case, and worked out really nice for her.
You ready? It's going to be so much better.
It's nice deep breaths, okay, Benjamin?
Coming the second time increase the mentorship that Operation Kids can offer to our local team.
Here's the fibula, talus right here. The navicular is going to be way over here dislocated. I'm going to take out the calcaneal cuboid joint. He had severe untreated club feet, neglected club feet. He's 7 years old, so we corrected them. So he's going to be very happy. His family will be very happy.
The job training sessions that they give to our team is very critical to ensuring that some aspects of the surgeries that they do this week can be sustained.
This is the new underarm here, all nice and inset and happy there. And then we're going to cover this part with the skin graft that I take from here.
Health education and educating the local staff here is so important, and they are so eager to learn from us.
It's almost like a Lambernuti type of triple arthrodesis, really.
And this is so essential for follow-up for the cases that have been done, but even more so for eventual sustenance of the kind of surgeries that the team from Operation Kids is rendering to our patients.
This year we added a new program. It's a sickle cell screening clinic. In sub-Saharan Africa, sickle cell disease is very prevalent. And oftentimes in this part of the world, people do not know their sickle cell status, which means when they get sick, they can potentially become much sicker or even die because sickle cell patients need to be treated a certain way.
It's important for the young people to know their status so that then when they go to get married or have children, they know what the risk is. There's over 300,000 babies a year born with this illness, a devastating illness, sickle cell anemia. And unlike the United States, where we test at birth, most people do not know their status. There is a new strip that has been developed, which is very user-friendly. It's just a drop of blood and a few drops of water, and we are testing that strip to see that the strip is accurate and quick and easy. This is only our 4th day doing this, and we have over 300 patients screened. This is going to be revolutionary for sub-Saharan Africa, and this is the first time it's being used in Ghana at all.
It's surprising to see that this thing just takes 10 minutes to get the results for the sickle cell disease. And I believe that if we continue to do this for our mothers in the near future, We're going to screen most of the mothers around, and we're going to bring down the disease rate because we're going to know how many people have it around us, and it's going to really help us.
We're helping by teaching as well how to properly assess, treat, and follow up with sickle cell patients.
So when they get the call to action, they all pour out into the periphery, which is why when you have overwhelming sepsis, you can deplete the bank that's there.
They know that we're dedicated to them, and they're dedicated to learning and improving what they're currently doing, and they're doing a great job, but they need a lot of support, so we're happy to give it.
As a hospital, we feel really privileged to be the medium through which this God-sent relief is being given.
These are her instructions for when she goes home.
That won't scar again, okay? It'll get looser if he moves it. Otherwise, it'll get frozen there. It'll get stuck. He can start bending this elbow right now. Let's dance. You're good.
We always look forward to seeing you coming back to help our people.
We thank Almighty for what He has done for us through you people, for helping my boy to get well.
We thank all who have supported their missions over the years, and this year in particular, to make this life-changing reality for our patients. Thank you.